What do you get when you combine salt, sand, and lots of sun? One unexpectedly amazing national park. Leaving Joshua Tree, we headed north through the Mojave Desert, one of the 4 major deserts in the U.S. It stretches across nearly 50,000 square miles, roughly the size of Pennsylvania. Sand dunes, rocky canyons, and dry mountain ranges are all part of the striking terrain here. Welcome to Nevada! Yes, you heard that right. And yes, I know Death Valley is in California, but the way we came up from Joshua Tree this morning, we came just about 7 miles past the turn to go to Death Valley to cross the border into Nevada for some cheap gas. Gas prices in California were pretty steep, $5.50 and up per gallon, so we just decided to drive a little further out of our way and come fill up our tanks, fill up an extra gas can so we have a little bit extra. We do lots of things to try to minimize how much our traveling costs, and looking ahead, scouting out prices for fuel is one thing that we do all the time. So Will was very, very excited when I found gas here for $3.80 a gallon.
Yes! I love my cheap gas.
And I love my crazy husband. Welcome to
Death Valley
National Park.
You looked at me too.
Furnace Creek is at the heart of Death Valley, and summer temperatures here can be almost as high as the gas prices. Not only is it the hottest, driest, and lowest place in North America, it's the largest national park in the lower 48 states. A group of pioneers who narrowly escaped death from heat and dehydration gave the place its name. Remarkably, promoters later used the sinister term to entice visitors to experience this wild environment.
We're in Badwater Basin. This is the first thing we're touring today, and it got its name because there's a pool close to the parking lot that is fed by a spring. There's water there all year, but it's super, super salty, and one of the pioneers coming through here dubbed it Bad Water because you couldn't drink it, and the name just stuck.
We are having so much fun walking on all of these salt flats. It's really, really crunchy under your feet when you walk. Death Valley is known for so many extremes, and one of those extremes is right behind us. So even though we are located at 282 feet below sea level, that mountain back there is actually at over 11,000 feet, and it's only 20 miles away. That is a huge change in elevation in a really, really short distance.
We're here at 282 feet below sea level. It's the lowest place in North America, and Death Valley is such a place of extremes. One of those that most people know of is the heat. The record temperature here was set back in 1913, 134 degrees Fahrenheit, and in 1972, they recorded a ground temperature of 201 degrees Fahrenheit. Just absolutely scorching hot. But the place is really, really cool to see, although that's probably not the right word, but you know what I mean.
I'm gonna eat this little piece of salt.
What do you think?
Even that little bit is super salty.
You don't need to allow that to salt your French fries. Woo! Just a few miles away is the Devil's Golf Course, a jagged, crusty expanse of salt formations. They were formed by the evaporation of ancient lake water and eroded by wind and rain into these spiky crystals. In 1934, a National Park Service guidebook read that only the devil could play golf on such a rough course.
You have that lovely wind-blown look.
California's just windy. I'm getting used to it. I didn't have high expectations for Death Valley, but this is, I wouldn't say it's beautiful, but it's unique. It's very different. We're hiking the trail to a place called Artist's Palette. It's warmed up to about 78, which isn't normally too bad, but with the sun shining and no humidity in the air, it feels pretty warm. But we've got a good breeze, so thankful for that. Oxidized metals and minerals such as mica, iron, and manganese have created a hillside resembling a watercolor painting. This landscape, with its otherworldly colors, has made its way into several movies and TV shows.
This scenic drive through the Artist Palette area is beautiful, but the road gets really narrow and tight in places. It's extremely curvy, and you definitely have to give it your full attention.
Back at Furnace Creek, a lovely oasis created by a natural spring was quite a contrast to the surrounding barren desert. Borax was discovered in Death Valley in the late 1800s and was mined here for 6 years. Teams of 20 mules were used to haul the borax from here to the nearest railroad station, 165 miles away. The grueling journey took 10 days, with the teams hauling 20 tons of borax and 1,200 gallons of water for survival.
Borax has been used for many, many years as a cleaner, and it's been used in soaps, laundry detergent, and other things, and has some industrial uses as well. And the 20 mule teams that would haul borax out of Death Valley in the late 1800s are still an iconic feature of the park. And during the 6-year period of time, they hauled 20 million pounds of the stuff.
Steam locomotives eventually replaced the mule teams and operated until 1931, when mining borax was no longer profitable.
This is 20 Mule Team Canyon, and this is where the 20 mule teams that hauled borax out of Death Valley, this is where they came through.
Can't even imagine how tough and sturdy those people had to be, how crazy they had to be.
Mommy's eating dust, literally.
Golly, we turned a corner and the dust just came through the window, all over me, all over the camera. I'm gonna be blowing dust out of my nose tonight.
That is TMI. Oh boy.
Okay, this will be fun. They didn't put this on the map. And now those mules had to go down that, carrying a big old wagon full of borax.
A big old wagon. It wasn't just a big wagon, it was a big old wagon. Good
Okay.
grief at the dust.
Oh my goodness. Oh, there's the road. It's pavement. Our truck is going to be, well, it already was disgusting. But
It was already covered in dust. Now we just have a layer of dust on top of dust.
we're wearing hoodies in Death Valley. This is amazing.
It's glorious.
We actually dropped to about 36 last night, and we're out early this morning, and we are hiking to Zabriskie Point. This is a very popular overlook in the park. We actually have clouds in the skies, the lighting is gorgeous, and thankfully it's only a third of a mile to the top. We took the advice of another traveler and hiked Golden Canyon, which is on the far side of Zabriskie Point. This popular 3-mile trail makes its way through sandstone, layered in shades of red, brown, white, and especially gold.
My favorite American author is Mark Twain, Samuel Clemens. He was just a fantastic storyteller, and he was actually famous for saying, "Never let the truth get in the way of a good story." So you have to take some of the things that he said with a grain of salt or two, but in his book, Roughing It, in which he provided lots of information about his time traveling across the American West in the 1800s as a young man, he talked about some Army soldiers who were stationed near Death Valley. And he said that they got so accustomed to the heat here that once it cooled down to 90 degrees, they wanted blankets. That just seems crazy, but I guess it's a testament to humans' ability to adapt to different circumstances, different situations they're in. Although I don't think Angela would ever adapt to that kind of heat.
All right, so word of warning or word of advice, depending on how you take it. There is one weekend in the month of February that Death Valley hosts a dark sky festival, and it happened to be this weekend. We didn't know anything about it. It hasn't really affected our hikes as much. We've been able to get out early and do things before the crowds really come out, but there are a ton of people now. They were doing a guided hike into Golden Canyon just now, and there were hordes of people hiking along with the rangers. So if that's your kind of thing, you may want to plan to come this weekend. If you don't like crowds, you might want to avoid this weekend.
Kaylee enjoys learning about our national parks through the Junior Ranger program, and she added another badge to her growing collection.
was a fun, curvy road. We drove up to the top of Dante's View, and this overlooks all the salt flats where we were yesterday. So we're gonna do a quick little half-mile hike to the top of the overlook. They say sometimes you can actually see the people down walking on the flat, so we'll go people watching. A little steep?
It's a lot steep. Man, and with this elevation, I can feel it.
So we can see people all the way down there, and they look like tiny little ants. I think we saved the best view for the last hike.
We have seen some beautiful places in the park, but I think that this takes the cake. We love mountain vistas, you know us, we love high places, and here you just get to see such awesome sweeping views of the entire valley. You really get to get a cool perspective on all of the salt that's here. It's just crazy how much salt is down there. You get to see all of the mountain peaks, but I think that we're at about 5,000 feet elevation here, and then we're looking down below sea level.
Please don't let the names Death Valley, Badwater Basin, the Devil's Golf Course, don't let those ominous sounding names keep you from coming here. This place is totally worth it. In the winter, not in the summer. I don't think we're gonna beat this camping spot the rest of the trip. When you come to Death Valley, there are a lot of campgrounds in the national park that you can stay at. Our plan was to stay down in Furnace Creek. There's a campground there called Sunset Campground. It's just dry camping, but they do have water available and a dump station, and it's only 18 bucks a night. So that was pretty reasonable, and that was our plan, except the weather got in the way. It is Death Valley. It gets hot here even in the winter, and at night the temperatures were going to be kind of in the mid-60s, which, if you know me, you know I like it cool, especially at night when I'm sleeping. So did a little research, and I found this place. This is called The Pads, and it's about 20 minutes from Furnace Creek. It's actually an old abandoned RV campground, and it's so peaceful. We have fallen in love with this place. In fact, I think this camping experience is part of the reason we have enjoyed Death Valley so much. You have all of these level concrete pads from the campground that was here before, so it's super easy in and out of the sites. They're really, really far apart. I mean, you have so much space between you and your neighbor. The other thing is it gets super dark here at night, so we got to see the stars. We've been looking at the Milky Way every night, but the best part is that this campground is located at 3,000 feet, and so for every 1,000 feet that you climb in elevation, temperature drops by about 5 degrees. So it's been consistently 12 to 13 degrees cooler here than it has been in Furnace Creek, which makes for a much more enjoyable camping experience, at least for us. It's not often we feel like we have to have a moment of silence to say goodbye to a campground or a camping spot.
This has been one of our favorite boondocking spots ever. The views of the mountains are incredible.
Oh yeah.
And I just love it. And it's my favorite price.
It's free. We are ready to head out, but we have one more stop to do this morning before we leave Death Valley. You can't come to the desert without coming to one of these.
You might think that sand dunes are just everywhere in Death Valley, but they're not. Only about 1% of the national park is sand dunes, but these are super, super cool.
These are called mesquite sand dunes because of all the mesquite bushes that grow among the dunes. It's the most easily accessible dune area in the park, and it's 14 square miles, I think.
Yeah, and that sounds huge, and you would think in many places 14 square miles, that's a lot of land. But remember, there are over 5,000 square miles in Death Valley. In relation to the rest of the park, it's tiny.
Kaylee Martin, what are you doing?
Burying myself.
You guys know how much I love to clean up sand.
It's a good thing that we're doing laundry today.
He's so dramatic. We're like a half mile from the parking lot.
You're totally ruining the mood.
He's carrying my purse and the backpack. Because I'm in the sand. I'm like sand level getting these shots.
I'm like the mules that were here carrying water, hauling all of the stuff, and didn't get paid for it. They didn't either, and I'm not.
He just likes to complain.
That's your mouth.
We're at the Mesquite Dunes today. I don't know how long we're gonna be here, but I hope we're here for a long time. This place is so cool. We found some stink bug tracks and some other traps, and I had to bring bacon. She likes you. This is what you get when you hike in the sand.
All right, some might think this is extreme, but I think it's just smart.
Join us down the road as we discover the wild and natural side of southern Nevada. And until next time, enjoy your journey.